We are undoubtedly in a masculinity crisis of epic proportions that is only getting worse, and I came up with a solution that mainstream media will not like. Over the years, there has been an attack on masculinity that has left societies around the world weaker than ever before because there are barely any strong men left. It's so bad that even China has stated we have a masculinity crisis, and they are trying to bring back strong, masculine men in their country. Not only that, testosterone is at its lowest in human history, and all you have to do is walk outside, and it will be obvious just by looking at the boys in Transformers walking on their tippy toes in tight pants. So this will lead to a whole bunch of problems later on. Look at the declining birth rate alone. You can tell how devastating this weak men pandemic will be on societies worldwide. You might be thinking, if it's that serious, why won't societies and the media try to prop up young men by promoting masculinity to solve this masculinity crisis? Well, I can't go deep on the C theories, but I can say that people at the top are incentivized to keep men weak so they can take control. Always remember that women will never be a threat to a damn thing. It's the masculine men that a certain group of people want to keep in check. So there will not be any promotion of masculinity going forward because they want us to be weak and compliant so they can push whatever agenda they want to. Also, businesses and the media are incentivized to promote womanism simply because women spend the most in society. Even though men fund these women, that's neither here nor there. So no entity has an incentive to help promote and fund the return of masculinity because of a certain group of people, and there's no money to be made due to men not being the primary consumers in society. Now that we have that out of the way, let's dive into how we can fix this masculinity crisis and make men great again. The first step in fixing this masculinity crisis is to bring back fathers into the homes and promote healthy two-parent households in society. I have to be blunt. Women don't know how to raise boys to be men because they've never been a man, and most of them aren't equipped to teach men how to be masculine. This problem starts in the home, and the more XXs that alienate fathers from their kids for the love of money or because they are vindictive is why we have so many problems today in society, and not just with masculinity. XXs are the main problem besides those running things because they are overwhelmingly the ones breaking up their families and selling out their kids' futures to collect child support and government checks. If women were not incentivized by the family courts to leave their husbands or baby daddies, then we would not see the divorce rate and the single-on-OM rate being so high in all the countries worldwide that reward women for destroying your families. It would never happen, so this tells you that XXs are the root cause of our problems with raising children in a healthy environment where they can strive and grow up to be good contributing members of society. But no, women love money more than their own kids, and they kick the father out and drag his butt down the family courts to line their pockets for 18 to 21 years. People don't want to admit this, but single OMs do not raise good kids, and they certainly don't raise masculine young men. This is not hate. It's a blatant fact based on the statistics that mainly criminals and 304s are raised by single XXs. And children that don't grow up in a single-parent household are at a significant disadvantage compared to children raised in a two-parent household led by a man. So the solution is clear: destroy the incentivization of breaking families apart and promote two-parent household families instead. Young men should be raised with their fathers so they can instill in them values and teach them how to be masculine instead of having these young boys raised without their biological fathers. Mothers serve an important role in young boys' life from age 0 to puberty, but young men need their fathers in their teen years the most to teach them what it's like to be a man, and that's what we're missing in today's society. Just understand that most people's problems start in the home and in a wider society. So if we can keep families together and have both parents trying their best to raise good kids, then most of our masculinity problems will disappear over time. Am I saying it's a perfect solution? No, but what we're doing right now is not working, and it will never work, so if people really cared about their children, they would start prioritizing their families instead of destroying them. This would help individual families and positively impact communities, eventually seeping into society. Stable families with masculine men and family-orientated women will benefit society, no questions asked, because the focus is not on the individuals involved. But it's about raising the kids in the best conditions possible, which has been proven to be in a two-parent household in a stable community. So whenever we can get men and women on board to stop tearing up their families for selfish reasons and take away all incentives from women to rip apart their families, then we'll see a return of masculinity. It's the best solution for this problem, no questions asked. It all starts in the home, so always remember that. The second step in fixing this masculinity crisis is to promote the importance of masculinity in men in society. Men have been beaten down and trashed in the media and society for years, and they've been led to feel like they're second-class citizens and the problem in today's world. Societies worldwide promote how much of a better place this world would be if men just disappeared or we were stripped of all our rights as human beings. That is the message they send, and nobody says anything about it. And if you do try to speak out about it, then you'll get canceled swiftly and ostracized by both men and women around you who will call you all types of names for just standing up for men. So this is why masculinity is under attack, because people openly speak out against it and try to tear it down, starting with impressionable young men. But I will not go any further because that is not something I should be talking about, but I will say they don't want men to be masculine. However, what happens when an inevitable war comes, like the one we're seeing now? Who exactly will defend us from threats of an attack by one of our enemies? Men, but there's a problem. If they are not promoting men to be masculine, who will defend us? The emasculated men. Do you guys see the predicament that we're in? Because most women aren't going to fight for our country, it's the men, and I know damn well that it won't be the tippy-toe boys and soy defenders that will protect us. The only persons we have always depended on were masculine men, and now that they are a dying breed, what chance do we have to fight and defend our country if we get invaded? So the point is, we need masculine men that are willing to lay their lives on a line to fight and protect our country, because womanists aren't going to do it, weak men aren't going to want to do it unless they're forced, and the rest of the women aren't going to do it. There was a trend on TikTok when there were talks of World War III, and people were doing videos on what they were going to do when drafting time came, and the women predictively were throwing away womanism to be a housewife and get knocked up. However, the young boys also said they would be in the house and be house husbands instead of going to war. That is where we are, gents, and everyone laughs and puts down men, but whenever there is a crisis or war, they'll want strong men to come and rescue them. Nobody is ever excited to see a weak man who doesn't know what to do or an XX to come and save them, and that's just the truth. And not just war, but in certain fields and jobs that require men to get down and dirty or risk their lives, we need more men like those to keep society running efficiently. But sadly, the media and society don't care, and it will be to their detriment the more we put down and emasculate men and promote women's empowerment. The solution is simple: stop putting down and downplaying men and encourage men to be strong and masculine. We also need more men to be pushed towards going into the military and promote blue-collar and more labor-intensive work. One more thing that would benefit men greatly is to have male support groups and provide shelters and programs to help them when they fall into tough times. Those are just some of the basic things men need, but we desperately need a group that focuses on men's issues and on helping men worldwide with housing, homelessness, joblessness, and so on. If we can do that and teach young boys the important role that men play in society and let them learn the skills they need, I know for a fact that we'll start to move in the right direction of fixing masculinity. The last step in bringing back masculinity is to tear down womanism and make families play a key role in choosing partners for their sons and daughters. You guys don't have to agree with me. However, I know for a fact that womanism needs to go and never come back again or anything like it. That movement is the catalyst for so much BS that has happened between men and women and the emasculation of men in society, so it got to go. Women need to have both their parents' input on who they should marry and not be out here riding the rooster rotation and choosing bad mates. And more men need to have a chance at monogamy so we can have a stable society where men lead their families and become productive members of society, and the children are raised in good homes where they feel safe and secure. This incel thing is a symptom of fatherless homes, women having no guidance on choosing good mates, and the emasculation of men. If we can fully get rid of womanism and allow parents to have an input on their sons' and daughters' partners, then we can start moving in the right direction. Once we have a society where more men can get a chance to have a decent feminine woman that isn't incentivized to destroy their family, good parents that want the best for them, societies that appreciate and help men to be better, in groups worldwide dedicated to men's issues, I am sure that we will be in a better place, and more men will be masculine as a result. I couldn't go too deep, or the video would have been too long, but this is just a simple roadmap of what can be done to fix the worsening masculinity crisis we are experiencing worldwide. Comment below what you think can be done to fix the current masculinity crisis that we are experiencing. I want to hear your opinion on the issue. If you guys want to support the channel, you can donate to our Cash App and PayPal in the description box below. Also, if you want to learn the 3 amazing benefits of staying single as a masculine man, then click the video on the screen right now to get this information.